Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models, and we are ready to go. Bennett GM Chevrolet Pace Truck pulls off. Let's turn them loose. Let's go Super Late Model Racing here at Flamboro Speedway. 17 of Brandon Passer gets out front. A little bit behind them, though. Big wiggle for the 27 of Mike Wilkinson. Right in front of the 8 car of Gary McLean. The front 3 cars are going to try to get away as Gary McLean in the 8 will settle in 5th, right ahead of the 22 of Glenn Watson. So see if those drivers can move up through the field. Watson was your quick time pole sitter earlier here tonight, but an invert of 6 cars put him starting in 6th position. So we'll see if that 22 and the 8 car can move up through the field here as Brandon Passer continues to lead as they're nose to tail at the front of the field. Passer in the 17, 52 of Adrian Foster, and the 03 of Dario Capirchio. They've kind of broken away as they've opened up at about a car length and a half over our 4th place runner, the 27 of Mike Wilkinson. Passer in that 17 car was able to pick up win number 1 on the season earlier a few weeks ago at Sunset Speedway. So that car certainly is dialed in. He picked up the win here last season at Flamboro Speedway as he won the Don Biederman Memorial here. So definitely want to keep an eye on the 17 of Brandon Passer here as the field basically now is nose to tail with about a car length between most of the drivers here as they start to settle in. Again, a 50-lap race. These drivers want to make sure they keep the tires on it here as they work lap number 5. So 45 laps still to go here as we'll see if they can start to pick their way through the field. Glenn Watson, a long-time Oscar Super Late Model champion, kind of organizing the Super Late Models here, and they've joined in and started to form the Ontario Outlaw Super Late Model Series. And so far putting on a good show here as now the battle is on for second as Capirchio in the 03 car. He's going to take a peek to the inside on the 52 of Adrian Foster. They're going to be side by side, and Capirchio takes quick work in that Genco Equipment sponsored entry. All those Passer cars and the Genco Equipment sponsored machines, see if they can slice their way through the fields here as now Foster's going to fall into the clutches of the 27 of Wilkinson. As they continue to put laps on the board here, Brandon Passer continues to lead. Second is the 03 of Dario Capirchio. Third, the 52 of Adrian Foster. Fourth, the 27 of Mike Wilkinson. Fifth, the 8 of Gary McLean. Sixth, the 22 of Glenn Watson. Seventh, the 40P of Charlie Gallant. Eighth, the 07 of Todd Campbell. Ninth, the 73 of Mike Miller. And 10th, the 64 of Chris Burrows. Those front 2 cars have started to break away here as Brandon Passer and Dario Capirchio have really started to open up about a half straightaway lead over the 52 of Foster. And Foster, though, has some serious company behind him. 27 of Wilkinson, then the 8 of McLean, and the 22 of Watson. All nose to tail as they dive back into turns 3 and 4 as they complete lap number 10. Battles on for third, though, as Wilkinson in that 27 is going to look to the inside on the 52 of Foster. Now he's going to try to bring the 8 of Gary McLean and potentially the 22 of Glenn Watson as well. Those cars are starting to try to pick their way through the field. You can see the rotors really starting to glow on that 27 of Wilkinson. These cars have lots of power. They need to get wound down. So you can see that left front brake rotor really starting to glow on the 27 here. Pretty early for that left front to be glowing that much. So we'll keep an eye on the 27 here as they continue to put down laps. Leaders are going to come up on the first lap car of the evening. That's the 64 of Chris Burrows in the Burrows Boys Racing machine. He's going to keep that car down to the bottom. Keep an eye on the battle for third as it starts to heat up as Gary McLean in that 8 car, a longtime runner in the Oscar Modified Series and champion for multiple seasons, winner of a bunch of different races and tried to get his toes wet in the Super Late Model division. Had that car out a few times over the last couple of seasons, but now running full-time with the Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models. And so far, he picked up a top 5 finish at Sunset Speedway earlier on. So setting quick time earlier tonight, I was talking to Gary earlier over in the pits, and that car, they went through some changes, really tried to work on that car the last couple of weeks, and they've really kind of come up with a whole new setup here for Flamboro and out of the box P2 in qualifying. So that car definitely showing some speed. We'll see if he can keep the tires on it here as they work on lap number 17, but he's definitely going to be one to watch as he's got a hungry customer behind them, the 22 of Glenn Watson. Those 2 drivers, lots of victories and lots of different cars here. So keep an eye on those two racing machines here as we work lap number 18. Brandon Passer continues to lead. Dario Capirchio is in third. Mike Wilkinson is in third. He's kind of opened up about a car length and a half over the 8 car of Gary McLean, who sits in fourth. Fifth is that 22 of Glenn Watson. Watson is all over the back bumper of that 8 machine, though. Then in sixth is the 40P of Charlie Gallant. Seventh is the 07 of Todd Campbell. Adrian Foster's kind of fallen all the way back into 8th position now. Ninth is the 73 of Mike Miller, and 10th is the 64 of Chris Burrows as we work lap number 20 of this 50-lap A main for the Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models, the Don Biederman Memorial race sponsored by Simcoe Barge of Innisfil and Ethan Cornea, driver of the number 51, who couldn't be here tonight. But so far, they continue to put laps on the board as Passer continues to lead. That gap, though, from those front two has kind of started to shrink as those 3, 4, and 5 cars have started really closed the gap here. Now they're within a couple car lengths striking distance. The 64 of Chris Burrows on the bottom, going one more lap down. That kind of helped the 17 of Passer as he kind of opened up a bit of a gap now. As we work lap number 23 here of this 50-lap main event. Leaders are working around the 73 of Mike Miller. Going to maybe allow for some movement. Glenn Watson maybe looking to the high side here on the 8 of Gary McLean, but to no dice, he's going to fall back in line. 17 of Brandon Passer. Problems for the 40P of Charlie Gallant. That car looks to be overheating. You can see the water starting to pour out of that 40P of Gallant. Gallant in the South Shore Services sponsored entry. Tough break as he was running in that 6th position. That'll put the 07 of Todd Campbell up into 6th now, but the top 5 drivers really haven't kind of separated themselves. The top 2 have kind of opened up a little bit of a gap, but nothing really crazy here as they work lap number 27. McLean in the 8 car, he's been all over the back bumper of the 27 of Wilkinson, but he can't quite find a way to get a run down to the inside on the 27 of Wilkinson. Wilkinson doing a good job kind of running that middle line. You can see as he really has some power down the straightaways. McLean now really trying to get underneath that 27 car as he's getting the pressure from Watson in the 22 saying, hey, let's get going here. We can try to work our way through the field. But McLean just can't quite find a way to get underneath that 27 of Wilkinson. Wilkinson really hot on those left front rotors now. You can see them glowing basically all the way down the straightaway now as they don't really have a time to cool off. The machines have to get kind of stopped down into the corners at Flamboro Speedway, and that has some big pressure. A little bit of a battle for the race lead, though, is the 03 of Capirchio. He's looking to the bottom on the 17 of Passer. As we work lap number 31 here of this 50-lap main event, so drivers are starting to get into the nitty-gritty of it here as we've got 19 laps to go. Passer continues to lead. Capirchio in second. Third, the 27 of Wilkinson. Fourth, the 8 of McLean. Fifth, the 22 of Watson. Sixth, the 07 of Campbell. Seventh, the 52 of Adrian Foster. Eighth, the 73 of Mike Miller. Ninth, the 64 of Chris Burrows. And off track, the 40P of Charlie Gallant. McLean in that 8 car tried to take a run to the bottom on the 27 of Wilkinson, but he couldn't quite get the bottom done. Now he's got a bit of a lane. Wilkinson slides up in turn 3 and 4, and that's going to allow McLean to get to the bottom. Watson throws that 22 car down to the bottom as well in turn 1 and 2. He's going to take that spot away from the 27 of Wilkinson. So slide Wilkinson all the way back to 5th now. Now we'll see if the 8 of McLean and the 22 of Watson can try to march their way forward here as we close in on 15 laps to go here in the running of the Don Biederman Memorial for the Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models. This race sponsored by Simcoe Barge of Innisfil. McLean and Watson continuing to run quick times here as they try to track down our race leaders at the front of the field. Capirchio is all over the back bumper of that big wiggle for the 8 of McLean. as he gets up out of the groove, and that's going to allow the 22 of Glenn Watson to slide underneath. So move the 8 car of McLean back to 4th now. Watson's going to see if he can try to drive his way up into the top 2 now, as he goes through a big wiggle as well down in 3 and 4. So potentially maybe some fluid on the racetrack, but both times through 3 and 4, those two drivers just sliding through the racetrack. The battle is still on though for the race lead, as Capirchio can't quite get to the bottom on the 17 of Passer. As we start to close in this time by, we're going to see 10 laps to go. Brandon Passer continuing to lead. Capirchio in the 0-3 is in second. Looks like maybe some problems with the 17 of Brandon Passer. Not sure if that left front tire brake rotor is on fire, but there's definitely a really orange looking glow coming from that left front tire here as we close in on 9 laps to go here in the running of the Don Biederman Memorial. We're going to continue on here as Passer continues to set the way. No matter what, he's continuing to put quick times up on the board here. Nobody's really able to close the gap here as we're working on 42, now 43 laps in the books. Passer leads, Capirchio in second, Glenn Watson in third, Gary McLean in fourth, and 5th is the 27 of Wilkinson. As we're starting to kind of go, these cars are really starting to find out the handling of these racing machines as we've run 44 laps green flag here so far. This time around, though, we're going to see the 5 to go symbol in the air. 5 more trips around for the 17 of Brandon Passer. Glenn Watson in the 22 has really closed the gap here, as well as that top 3 is now separated by about a car length. But a big wiggle off of turn 2 as Watson couldn't quite put the power down. Things are going to get interesting here on lap 44, 45, now 46. Capirchio is all up under the back bumper of Brandon Passer in the 17 car. But Passer just running a nice, smooth, tidy line here so far as he's been doing all race long. Top 3 separated by about a half car length here as they go down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. This time around, they're going to see the 2 to go sign, but Capirchio gets underneath the 17 of Passer. Going to be side by side down into turn 1 and 2, but Watson now joins the battle. It's a 3-car race for the lead. Capirchio looking to the bottom on Passer. Side by side into turn 3 and 4. This time off of 4. White flag will be in the air. Last lap around. Capirchio, Passer side by side for the final lap shootout. Capirchio down to the bottom. Passer on the top side. Capirchio takes the race lead away from Brandon Passer. Third turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will fly. Win goes to the 0-3 of Capirchio. Second will be the 17 of Brandon Passer. Third, the 22 of Glenn Watson. Fourth, the 8-car of Gary McLean, rounding out the top 5, the 27 of Mike Wilkinson. We are going to head on down to Quick Victory Lane and grab a word with our feature winner, the 0-3 of Dario Capirchio. Down here in Quick Victory Lane, waiting to climb from the car, the winner of the Don Biederman Memorial here at Flamboro Speedway. Climbing from the car, fans, put your hands together for your feature winner, the 0-3 of Dario Capirchio. We'll try to slide in here and grab a word with Dario. We'll slide in here. He's going to grab a drink here. 50 laps of green flag action. Handshakes all around here. Dario, you had to wait until basically the last lap. You finally got underneath that 17 of Brandon Passer. How were you able to get this 0-3 to victory lane?
I just think he ran out of brakes, and I didn't have much left either, but I seen him push up, and I said, I got to go. There's not much left here. So I took it, and he gave me lots of room, raced me clean. We're all team cars here, so, right, we're both trying to get into victory lane. So we did it. He won this last time, so it was my turn, I guess.
I know you got a lot of friends and family here and a lot of sponsors to thank. Who do you want to give a shout out here for getting this 0-3 car to victory lane?
First and foremost, Bill Passer. He's the one that puts these cars together. Without him, there'd probably be no series. He's got 3 cars out here. So, I got to thank him, and then all my crew, right, for helping us. Just team effort.
There you go, fans. How about a round of applause for your Don Biederman Memorial winner, the 0-3 of Dario Capirchio. We'll grab a word here. I know that both of you guys were close at the line. I think, Brandon, you got him there right at the end. You led the whole race, couldn't quite pull off. How was that 17 car working?
It wasn't bad. I wish I didn't lose brakes, like absolute all brake. I was pumping it for like 25 laps, and it just went flat at the end there.
I know you guys got a lot of friends and family here. Who do you want to thank for getting that 17 to second place for you guys tonight?
Oh, I got to thank Dario. I got to thank my grandfather. I got to thank my dad, Ethan, for helping me out today too, and all the other guys that are helping.
There you go, fans. Your second place runner, the 17 of Brandon Passer. We'll grab a word here with our third place finisher, 22 of Glenn Watson. Glenn, you sat on the pole, had to start back in 6. You got your way up to 3rd. How is this 22 car working for you guys tonight?
It was not bad. It was a little tight off, and then I think the brakes went away a little bit, so I tried to get off them, and then they kind of come back, and I was getting into the mix there with these guys, and just didn't have enough to get it done, and would have liked to have had those 75 laps, but it was a good day. Cars in one piece, and yeah, happy to be here.
I know you got a lot of people you want to thank. Who do you want to thank for getting that 22 to 3rd place for you guys tonight?
First, all the crew that worked so hard on bringing a nice piece to the track, all the sponsors that help us out, and Ethan Cornier of Simcoe Barge was our sponsor tonight, and it's unfortunate that he couldn't make it out with us. He had motor problems, so hopefully he gets her back out for next one.
There you go, fans. Your 3rd place runner, there, 22 of Glenn Watson. How about a round of applause for your podium here tonight for the Don Biederman Memorial for the Ontario Outlaw Super Late Models